Hi, I'm Jason Fausey. We're live here from the Elevate show. As you can hear, a lot of action here this morning. And you know, as a research and development person, to me, always the thing that people will ask me first about is, hey Jason, what do you have that's new? What do you have that's coming up and going to be talked about as far as new products and what's on the horizon? And very fortunately, we had 3 products registered in 2024 for use in the landscape industry, and I wanted to visit on those today. Certainly next year, we're excited. This is the first full year of use for these products. Southpaw, Allstar, and Velocity Herbicide. All 3 of these are post-emergence herbicides that are very unique. They're brand new to the industry. We'll just kind of hit on the highlights of these products. First of all, we'll talk a little bit about Southpaw herbicide. This is a brand new herbicide, and really my entire time here at Nufarm, we've talked about having a very broad spectrum herbicide for use in warm season turf. In particular, Bermuda grass, centipede grass, St. Augustine, and zoysia grass. Those 4 really common warm season turf grass species. And this is a herbicide that for the first time we've put 3 active ingredients together to really target a very broad spectrum, a wide spectrum of weeds that you can control with just a single application. If you take a look here, you can see you can control some annual and perennial sedges, annual and perennial grasses, and annual and perennial broadleaf weeds. So this is a really broad spectrum product that you can make an application and expect control of a number of weeds. And when we look at the efficacy of this product, it's really outstanding. We know in the industry Celsius Extra is just an outstanding product, and this is just a slide showing the efficacy across 9 different weeds in trials that were side by side. Southpaw at 8 ounces versus Celsius Extra at 10 ounces. And if you take a look at these 9 different weeds, we see excellent control, very consistent control with Southpaw on all 9 of these. And these are, again, are some grasses, some broadleaf, and some sedges thrown in here. So again, a great herbicide for people. If you haven't had an opportunity to use it, I certainly would suggest it for next year. The other part that I really like about it, when we look at some of our grass species and our tolerance, what we're looking at here in the white is a 32-ounce rate of Southpaw. That's 4 times the maximum labeled rate. So a product that you can go out, you can feel really comfortable. Even if there was an over application, we see no impact here on our turf density, our turf quality. Overall, our turf looks outstanding, even at very high exposure rates to Southpaw. So this is a super flexible herbicide that you have great turf tolerance along with this great broadleaf activity, as well as the sedges and the annual grasses and perennial grass control that you can get with it. So it's a really great herbicide for people in the industry. Now I'll switch gears and talk about a kind of a similar product in Allstar, but this is one that we're going to be focused mostly on our cool season grasses. So again, Allstar is a new herbicide. It's the first time it's been put together in the marketplace. It has 4 active ingredients. So in this case, we're looking at 2,4-D triclopyr, quinclorac, along with sulfentrazone. So this is a product that you're going to apply post-emergent. Again, kind of that all-in-one for our cool season grasses, where you can control all this large spectrum of weeds. So regardless of what you have, it's going to be fast, so people get that response right away, and then very effective long-term control as well. So it's a product that's really easy to use. Again, most of the time we're going to be looking at just a 1-rate product, 8 pints per acre. So again, really easy for the end user to make the applications with Allstar. But again, one of the keys with this herbicide was putting it together, getting the right ratio of all 4 of these active ingredients. And what you see with this product is that all 4 of these active ingredients have certain things that it really targets, but the nice thing is that they all work together. We see the sulfentrazone controlling our sedge. We see the sulfentrazone also enhancing the activity of quinclorac on our crabgrass, as well as that broadleaf activity that you get with triclopyr. Again, people love that product for a reason. It's extremely effective, especially when you put it in combination with 2,4-D and the quinclorac. Outstanding broadleaf activity. Sometimes pictures just speak for themselves, right? We know Q4 Plus is a great product in the industry, but when we look at things like wild violet, so we're looking at our broadleaf control here in our turf grass setting, so you can see the broadleaf weeds, that wild violets are still left behind with this Q4 application versus the Allstar. Again, really strong broadleaf control. We know wild violet is probably the most common, difficult to control weed in cool season turf, and we know that Allstar is extremely effective. So we have a product that's great on sedges, great on our broadleaf weeds as well. So we know that, again, it's very effective across the board. I'm going to switch gears now to the third product in Velocity PM, and you might say, Velocity, I've heard that name before. Yeah, that's right. It was registered a few years back, but we've relaunched it. We've kind of listened to the industry, say, can you bring this product back to us? And there's a few criteria with this new launch of the product. First, it's a new liquid formulation. We always had a dry formulation before. Difficult to use, it's difficult to measure. We could have outstanding POA control with our velocity, but again, sometimes getting the right rate was just difficult for people. So we put it into a liquid formulation. We also have a new strategy for people, ensuring that we're at some lower rates where people can still get good POA control while having good turf tolerance. So we're removing both POA annual and POA trivialis on a nice slow basis, where we can get that response, we can take it out over time, and again, something that's really the industry's been asking for a long period of time, and we can use this again in our cool season grasses. If we look at the programs that we have, we've tried to develop something that was really pretty simple. Some straightforward guidelines. First of all, you'll notice that temperature range. This is a product that you're going to want to be applying when our air temperatures are really more consistent. Something in that 60 to 90 degree range. It's a pretty wide window, but this is not a product you're going to want to be out necessarily really early in the year or really, really late when temperatures are kind of inconsistent. We want the nice growing conditions so that we can make an application post-emergently, and we're going to control consistently our annual or our POA trivialis. The other thing is, with velocity, it is a program approach. So this is going to be 2, 3, in some cases maybe even 4 applications. We're going to make a couple of applications, depending on how much POA you have, the speed that we want to remove that from our turf system. But again, our goal here is to maintain a really high quality turf. And again, our use rate now is quite low. There's a range, we'll help people through on that, but overall what we're looking at is somewhere around 2.25 fluid ounces per acre, so it's a low use rate product that with our multiple applications, we're going to be looking in that range of 2 to 3 weeks of application, so 14 to 21 day application. We're going to stretch that out a little bit to slow down the activity, or we can shorten that application interval and get more activity. And hopefully this comes across all right, but what you see here, this is actually a combination of some ryegrass in with our POA annua. You can see the POA annua is starting to turn off color. It's that yellowish turf that's in there, where our nice bright green turf is our ryegrass. It's still very healthy, very much growing. Nice and fill into those areas quickly after a velocity application. And then this one's an aerial view here in the center where they've treated this lawn with velocity. You can see a front lawn, the back lawn, and you see this off-colored turf in here across this entire area, and that's from our velocity application. Velocity, again, kind of slowly taking out that POA, having no damage on the desirable turf, but again, removing that turf as far as the POA annual or POA trivialis. And then the other way that you see in some cases, like this sports field, we're just spot spraying. There's some small areas that's pretty dense with our POA. Instead of using a complete non-selective, what you'll find is that there's still desirable turf in those spots, that you can selectively remove those, kill those with 1 or 2 applications, and again, seed 7 days after that application, so the half-life of this product in the soil is very, very short, usually 1 day or less. So again, it's a product that's a post-emergence, comes in contact, really takes out our weedy turf, as well as leaving our desirable turf. And then as a research guy, you have to at least talk about what's coming soon. And I'll talk about PrimeTime. It's kind of our ultimate hammer for cool season grasses for broadleaf weed control. This is an ester formulation with 4 active ingredients. It's the first time these 4 active ingredients have been put together in a herbicide. This is going to be an outstanding tool for people. It's not registered today, but we're really anticipating a registration in 2025 for PrimeTime. But this would be an outstanding product for, again, spring applications or a late fall for times when you're really targeting broadleaf weeds to get really, really good long-term control. This is going to be an outstanding product. So PrimeTime, look for that in the future. So really between Southpaw, Allstar, Velocity PM, and then PrimeTime, we're really excited about 2025. So with that, I want to say thanks, and we're all finished from the show here.